Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your tarot card reading for March 2024. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. Thanks to everyone for being here. So for these tarot card readings, you are free to watch for either your sun, moon, or rising sign. If you're interested in your love energies, you can certainly check out your Venus sign as well to see if that resonates for you too. So let's go ahead and keep it short and sweet this month. Let's go ahead and get right into the reading. Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your March 2024 tarot card reading. So we are going to get started with a card from my Animal Spirit deck. So let's see what Scorpio needs to know here for the month of March. Trust in the magic. Okay, there's a lot of faith that happens throughout Pisces season. Okay, the motto of Pisces is I believe. So believing that things are possible, believing in yourself, believing things will work out, things will change, right? All of that is going to be highly beneficial for you. Pisces is the season to dream, okay? It rules the dreams. And it's really important for our manifestation cycles, right? To have a clear idea of what it is we want and to allow ourselves to dream about what we want. And yeah, this is the time where I'm like, yeah, we can be delusional, okay? We can be a little bit out there, out of the box, and, you know, maybe realistically, we know how hard something might be to bring into our life, but I think dreaming is always going to be the most important thing because you have to dream in order to take steps in that direction, right? So to trust not only in the possibility, but to trust that you can be guided toward that very thing you hope to achieve or to have. And trusting the process. One thing about Pisces is that it doesn't require or demand a lot of answers. It's just, okay, let's go in this direction. We don't have to have all the information. We don't have to come to all these conclusions. We don't have to be right about anything or even wrong about anything. We just go. We kind of meander a little bit. And sometimes that can be good. And I know Scorpio being Mars ruled, there is this tendency to want to have control over things. And we'll get enough of that once the sun comes into Aries near the end of March on the 19th after the equinox. But for the majority of March, I do think it's really, really important for you to just kind of go with the flow a little bit. Take your hands off that wheel, allow yourself to dream and to dream big, and allow yourself to kind of indulge in the feeling of the changes that you're seeking for your life, okay? So for a moon card, what is it that Scorpio needs to know for March? Ah, well, there you go. Hold your vision. It's always a good message for a fixed energy, right? Because that's actually really where you thrive, is where you have an idea of what you want and you can actually fixate on something, which I think can be good, can be bad. In this case, I think fixation can be very, very good because it allows you in your everyday life to say, does this choice lead me toward my vision or not? And if it doesn't, you're more likely to not go that route and choose the route that is in line with your vision, right? And to have that card with a Trust the Magic card says, well, you actually could make some significant progress when you're dreaming and you're visualizing and you're trusting and you're taking steps forward. You know, you actually really could be putting yourself in an excellent position for success, okay? But hold that vision. Hold the vision of the dream. And even if you don't know exactly how you're going to get from point A to point B, I don't know that that matters right now. I think once we hit Taurus season, late April, early May, that's going to be the time when we can have a little bit more of a concrete plan. But for now, Pisces season, even Aries season, we just got to kind of like embrace the moment, go with the flow, and and trust that we're going to be put in the right places, okay? So let's see what comes through with the tarot cards for Scorpio, starting with 3 cards. Okay, that one. All right, I really like the 6 of Swords for Pisces season as well, because Pisces is very much about letting go, release, surrender, moving on, as it is the last sign of the Zodiac, and it's the one preceding the new year, right? The new astrological year. It is a time where we have to kind of make some adjustments. And sometimes those adjustments entail release, letting go, surrender, offering forgiveness or mercy toward others, or especially toward ourselves, and choosing a path that is more conducive to how we ultimately want to live our lives. And I feel like there's something, or there has been something in your life that you have felt very restricted by. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's health, maybe it's just some other kind of life circumstance. But you've been feeling very restricted by it. And this feels like a loosening of the binds, right? The kind of constrictions are sort of losing their hold on you. And this is, again, probably not going to happen all right away, probably not happening all only in March. This does feel like a process, because normally when we have this many swords, especially coming out right next to each other like this tells me that this situation that you don't like has been building for a while and has had some momentum for a while. It's not something that just randomly happened and all of a sudden everything just kind of came together and then you can easily move on. Usually swords take a long time to extract. And for us to exit those situations, usually it kind of takes a while. The good news is, in the sign opposite of you, which is Taurus, okay, Jupiter and Uranus are coming into a conjunction. The official conjunction is happening on April 20th, but through all of March and the majority of April, Jupiter comes closer and closer and closer to Uranus. And we're really going to start to feel this Uranian energy even more so than we already have. There's going to be a lot of change, a lot of growth, a lot of volatility, maybe a little bit of chaos, but it can be your best friend because it can be the very thing that can kind of shake this cage loose so you can finally get out. Okay, so whatever circumstance you're feeling bound by, there are going to be opportunities through March and April both that are going to enable you to do that. And I'm seeing the 3 of Coins as being collaborating and working with people, and, you know, maybe there's an element of counseling or coaching, or maybe there's a new client that comes through, or maybe there's just a lot of productivity in some area of your life. This is going to be probably the thing that holds you all together. It's going to keep your focus, it's going to keep your attention, and it's going to kind of take precedence while this release is actually happening. This does not feel loud or prominent unless we get the Tower card. I don't know that this is going to be some huge, big event for you. It just feels like the things that have been hard are not going to continue to be as hard anymore. And you're going to find a sense of ease with everything, and you're going to find solutions with things, and you're going to find new pathways for things. And I think the 3 of Coins is going to be one of those pathways, right? Working with people, new projects, new business ideas, kind of just getting that creative, yes, but also really productive energy online. Now, keep in mind, Mercury is going to move into Aries on the 9th of March. So that's going to activate your 6th house, which is probably going to keep you pretty busy. And I think you're going to want to be busy, and you're going to want to, really take a look at how you're living your life in terms of a daily routine, and you're going to start looking and analyzing certain habits, and you're going to come to some conclusions as to whether or not certain habits are going to be conducive to the vision that you hold. All right, so there's a lot of modification going on here for Scorpio, it seems, which is perfectly in line with what Pisces season really represents. We can allow ourselves to make these modifications and have real trust that you are actually making the correct modifications, okay? So King of Cups coming through reversed. I kind of feel like there's something that you have thrown your hands up in the air and say, God, spirit, higher self, whatever you relate to the most. Okay, so I'm just going to say God, right? God, spirit, take the wheel. I look at this King of Cups as someone who understands their inherent power. They understand their stability. They understand their value, but they also are not so arrogant that they don't believe that asking for divine guidance is useful. Because I think right now, in order to get you out of this little cage, I think divine guidance is necessary. You're going to need that high intelligence that understands the way that the tapestry of your life is all weaved together. You're going to need that higher intelligence to, again, put the right people in front of you or open the right doors or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's a lot you can do for yourself and a lot of things you can hold yourself accountable for, but it's that balance between what you can do for yourself and what spirit can do for you. Okay, so as long as you are genuinely and wholeheartedly pure in your intentions for what you want, I think spirit is absolutely going to provide a pathway for you. And your humility is a really important ingredient in that, kind of like how sugar is an important ingredient in cookies. Right? Because without something sweet, those cookies aren't going to taste real good. Okay, so your humility is kind of the sweetness of all of this. And your faith as well. Sorry for my voice, a little hoarse. So we have this Temperance card in the center. I am kind of feeling a little nervousness, as much as I like this card for discipline and stoicism and kind of being in that more Zen-like place and approaching things with moderation and, of course, temperance itself. As much as I love it for that, when it's reversed, I kind of feel like there's, I'm not going to say a lack of those things, but it's just, there's going to be disturbance. But again, not huge. I'm not seeing big crashing down anything. It feels very smooth to me, but it doesn't necessarily feel comfortable either. Like I said before, that Eight of Swords, that circumstance took a while for you to get there. And it's a product of many decisions in your past. And you can't just snap your fingers and poof, it's gone. Right? There are things and procedures, and there are certain ways to peel. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, right? There are many layers to that onion, many swords that have to be removed in order for that freedom to be found. And yet somehow this became comfortable, because again, it was a series of choices and decisions, and there was an element of momentum that built up to it. So now you're there, and it's probably been there for a while. So it has become normal. Maybe you don't like it, but it has become normal nonetheless. So when you start trying to get out of your own normal, even if, again, you don't like it, but it's still normal to you. So when you start getting out of it, that can be uncomfortable. And this can be patterns. It can be, like a mind programming type of thing, breaking trauma, all that kind of stuff. It can be that. But I think Scorpio is ready, right? Trust in the magic. I think you're ready to handle the discomfort that it's going to require. And actually, Pluto in Aquarius now, really since January. Okay, this is not a super new transit. This happened back in January. But when Pluto came into Aquarius, that's kind of the demand. Like, we can't stay comfortable in our little walled off world. We have to break down the walls and we have to deal with the exposure. Right? We just have to deal with it. We have to just accept that in order to get us to where we want to be, we are going to be exposed to new environments, and that can be scary. But I also find with the Magician that this is incredibly inspirational for Scorpio. So when you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you're going to rise to the occasion, and you're doing it really for yourself. There may be other people that benefit, like, say you own a company. Your employees may benefit from that. Your customers or clients, your family members, your spouses, your children, your friends, right? All those people, it can all benefit from your inspiration. And I do feel that you're going to feel that spark. Now, keep in mind, Aries is very much that spark energy. I always say for my fire signs, Aries is the spark, Leo is the bonfire, Sagittarius is the wildfire. So we have that initial boom that happens, but over the course of the year, as we make our way through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and eventually we'll hit Leo, Leo season, so July and August, is really where we're going to start making something from the sparks that are happening now. Okay, so these are just seeds that get planted. It doesn't mean your whole world is going to change immediately. I'm not saying it definitely won't. It might for a few of you, but for the majority of you, your life is going to continue on as normal, but you are going to feel these shifts happening. You're going to feel this cage getting rattled. You're going to feel yourself stepping into an uncomfortable space, getting out of these habits, getting out of these behaviors, getting out of these circumstances one step at a time. And all the while, Three of Coins, you're probably going to be inviting some really good things in. And when good things come in, you are then even that much more inspired with that Magician card. I often say that the Magician is like the implantation of a desire, right? You're being implanted in some kind of a way, like spirit, your higher self is kind of plunking that down in your heart space, and you're going to be like, wow, I want that. And that's really all it is. But that wanting, that seed is going to grow over time. And the more this desire grows, the more likely you are to finally leave this circumstance behind. And I think you want to, right? Six of Swords, there's absolutely already a push going on for you to leave stuff behind. I actually think this is one of the things where Pisces and Scorpio are very complementary to one another. This is kind of where Cancer, as the third water sign, is sort of left out, because I see Cancer being more retentive, where Pisces and Scorpio are more about release and elimination. Like, let's get it out. Let's surrender. Let's forgive. Let's move on, right? Let's not have it in our life anymore. I think Pisces and Scorpio do it differently, but this is where that essence of release, they both have it. Okay, and there's a lot of healing that happens from the release and elimination during both of these seasons. Okay, although Pisces is a little bit more merciful and forgiving, but it is still a letting go nonetheless. Okay, so you let go and then new things come in. And this is great for your manifestations. This is great for creating the world that you wish to live in. Okay. I'm not going to take all those, but I will take the one I saw. Okay. And last but not least, well, the first thing that came to mind when that Ace of Cups fell out was, I don't know that Scorpio is making decisions right now for the sole purpose of getting something out of it. Like, I'm only going to do this if you do something for me. This doesn't feel very transactional. I don't know that Scorpio is in a transactional moment. I think you are in a little bit more of a, I just want to get out of this place. I want to move on. I want to evolve. I want to grow. And the dedication is more to the growth. And you know inherently, right, the faith, you trust in the magic, you know inherently that the results will come. And so you're not, I mean, being driven by results can be good, like in business and with sales and trying to earn money and that type of thing. Like that can be a good thing. But when we're talking about our lives and we're talking about our mental states and our emotional states, doing things for the sake of results. Like, and I said this several months ago, I said, this is not a good time for us to say, okay, well, if something doesn't happen by the end of March, then I'm just going to give up, right? That was a bad strategy come the beginning of 2024 as we moved in through January. That was like the opposite of my suggestion, okay? Because we don't want to commit to those types of time frames. It's kind of like saying, okay, well, if I'm still depressed by March 1st, then I'm going to go do something more drastic, right? I'm going to move. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to quit my job and blah. And I mean, I don't know that you should be holding your mental and spiritual and emotional development to such rigidity. But it more is the love of the process, the love of the growth, the love of the development itself, where you're going to find that fulfillment. And I think the more relaxed you are in that approach, the more respect and the more self-love and the more worthiness will start to grow. And that can certainly be beneficial in helping you get out of this circumstance. Because when I look at the Seven of Swords, you know, this card often to me when it's upright is a card of self-sabotage or self-betrayal or self-abandonment. Sometimes you can be dealing with someone who's a little bit shady as well. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like we're going to set that behavior aside, right? We're not going to betray ourselves. We're not going to abandon ourselves. We're not going to, because that's the thing, like with this Magician, it's still so fragile. The desire here is so new and so unique, and it does require an exceptional amount of nourishment. Because like how many times do we have little desires come into our heart? I mean, it's like all day, every day, little desires. I want to buy this. I want to do this. I want to go here. I want to have that, right? But it really, like how many of those are we actually feeding? How many of those are we nourishing? How many of those are we taking hold of and actually growing? So just because we have this new desire, and that's kind of Aries, right? We get that boom, that spark, but it can so easily fizzle out. And this is why Aries people, they're kind of known for, and this is very stereotypical. I'm not saying all Aries are like this, but it's really, really, really common for an Aries to start a project and not finish it, because that's not what that archetype is about. It's not what that archetype is for, right? Aries is about starting fires, right? It's not about maintaining the fire or directing the fire, okay? Just starting. So it is going to take conscious effort for you to grab onto that desire that is in line with this vision and actually do something useful with it without shooting yourself in the foot with that Seven of Swords. because you might have that desire and immediately think, oh, well, that's so far off. There's no point in even thinking about it. You immediately put up a wall, and you're not trusting the magic then. Right? Oh, and I use this example of like the $250 million yacht, okay? Because that's something kind of ostentatious. It's a little kind of just something that we can all understand, right? There's this massive mega yacht. Okay, let's say you have this desire for this mega yacht, but you're sitting here barely able to afford your mortgage. Well, if you have that desire for that yacht and you immediately say, well, I can't afford it, and I'll never be able to afford it, well, then, of course, you never will. And then that magic will never really seep in. Okay? And I know not all of your dreams are so outlandish. Most of your dreams are probably pretty realistic, actually. So you don't want to put up those walls. The tendency to do that will be there because I think it's remnants of whatever got you this Eight of Swords. The remnants are there. So you have to kind of catch yourself and say, I don't want to be thinking like that. I don't want to talk to myself like that. I don't want to shut myself down like that. I would rather empower myself and say, well, what do I need to do instead? And then that's when the trust in the magic really, really comes out, okay? But I do feel like this is the beginning of the manifestation cycle. This is the beginning of the new year. We have the equinox. We have things coming into balance. The sun throughout the course of March comes in through Pisces. And then when it comes into Aries at the end of March, it's going to be in its sign of exaltation. So we're all going to feel that sense of aliveness when the sun is very strong in the chart. We have eclipses building as well. We're going to have a full moon eclipse in Libra, which is kind of a weak eclipse. It's not very strong. The magnitude is like a 0. It's kind of just a prenumbral eclipse. But the big eclipse is happening on April 8th. In Aries, and that's kind of a one. It's kind of a bigger magnitude one. It's going to be the biggest one this year. So we are making our way into eclipse season. So things are starting to get intense. They're starting to build, and that's why I kind of feel like that cage is rattling because it's like, oh, it's time for us to get out of that Eight of Swords. Okay, so let's take a look at the clarifiers. For those of you who are new here, the cards I'm about to pull out are the cards we'll cover in my comprehensive reading. And the link for that will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below. We usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. So let's see for the Six of Swords. Kind of feel like that with the Devil. This has been coming out almost in every reading. Seven of Cups and the Fool. Love the Fool with the Trust the Magic card. Prince of Swords, which is like the Knight of Swords. Six of Cups and Five of Swords. The Sun, beautiful King of Swords. Another Three of Coins. Okay. I like the collaboration energy there. Ace of Coins. Four of Coins. And Nine of Cups. Ace of Swords. Judgment. Ooh, I love when Ace of Swords and Judgment come out together. That's one of my favorite combinations. And the Knight of Coins, Ten of Wands, Eight of Cups, High Priestess. Last row for the Ace of Cups, Three of Swords, Three of Cups. I feel like there are people around you that might not believe in you. There might be someone sour around you. Hierophant. Seven of Swords on top of Seven of Swords. Ten of Cups. Last but not least, the Queen of Coins. Beautiful with the Empress. Nine of Coins. Another Ace of Cups. Amazing. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up. All right, Scorpio. So again, all the info is down in the description box down below. Thank you all so much. Have a great month of March, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.